What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today on this very, very merry Christmas day to react and enjoy learning about Christmas traditions in Canada. I really do enjoy learning about the Christmas traditions in places other than America. You know, what's funny about Canada and America, the more I learn, is there's a lot of things that are so similar, but the things that are different are so unique and specific and usually fun and fascinating. And I imagine the very same is true for Christmas in Canada. And today, I usually like to react to some kind of nice video about different Canadian topics, but I wasn't able to find a satisfactory video specifically on Canadian Christmas traditions. But what I was able to find is we're going a little old school here. We're going back. We're just gonna enjoy this nice little website. It's about different cultures and how Christmas is celebrated. And this page here is about Christmas in Canada. And this seemed, pretty nice. It has a lot of bullet points of different things that are celebrated in Canada on Christmas, the different ways. So this looked nice to me. So let's take a look. Christmas in Canada. Canada is a very large country, and people of many different cultural backgrounds live there. Because of this, there are lots of different Christmas traditions in Canada. Yes, many of the traditions and celebrations come from French, English, Irish, Scottish, German, Norwegian, Ukrainian, and native First Nation influences. Very nice. People in Canada send Christmas cards to their friends and family. Well, this isn't completely unique to Canada. I think at this point, gosh, everyone on the planet's probably sending Christmas cards. Christmas cards are huge in America. For a lot of people, it's honestly maybe the one time of year where you get in touch with a lot of distant friends or relatives you don't get the opportunity to talk to a lot, and you send them this nice message, maybe with photos of your family, to update them on what's happening. And then you might be receiving a bunch of Christmas cards from everyone that you haven't heard from in forever. And it's just nice. It's just nice to get an update on everyone's lives all at once. It's like this very special little thing. I think it's very nice. And, Canada does it too, which is great. Many Canadians open their gifts on Christmas Eve. Really? Really? Is that true? Some only open their stocking on Christmas Eve. Others choose one gift to open, then save the rest until Christmas Day? Okay, now that makes it sound kind of ambiguous. Ambiguous. The, the Christmas festivities, the Christmas season's really getting to me. I can't even think straight. This leaves it a little ambiguous. Do Canadians open their Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve or Christmas? I have to know. In America, by and far, it'd almost be ludicrous. It'd almost be against the law. The cops would come for you. If you open your presents before Christmas, you have to wait till Christmas, mister, to open. Mr. or Mrs., you gotta wait till Christmas Day to open your presents and then just go nuts. Maybe I can Google this. When do Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving? No. Open Christmas gifts? I don't know if Google's gonna know this. This is awful specific. Whoa! It says Christmas Eve. No. Many Canadians open their gifts on Christmas Eve, while others only unwrap one gift. My family used to do that, actually. We had a tradition. I thought we just made it up. Maybe we had like the Canadian Christmas spirit kind of whispering to us all along. We used to pick one gift to open on Christmas Eve for fun, but then we always kept trying to just pick the absolute worst gift. But you can't really tell what the worst gift is when they're all wrapped, so it's kind of crazy. And I just wanted to open every gift on Christmas morning. I felt bad opening it on Christmas Eve after a while, and then everyone agreed, and we don't do that. But Canadians, are just ripping open all the presents on Christmas Eve? I still can't believe that. That's an enormous difference. Like in America, you have this childhood experience and this childhood image in your mind of waking up on Christmas morning, running from your little bed downstairs to the tree, all the presents, it's like magic, they've appeared overnight, and it's you do it in the morning and everyone's kind of just like laying around a little tired but excited. There's a very specific image with an American kid of opening gifts on Christmas morning. So I imagine in Canada, if most people are opening their gifts on Christmas Eve, you still have that same association, that same beautiful sort of image in your mind of this magical gift opening experience, but it's just associated with Christmas Eve. So it's not all that different if I really think about it. It just I just I just didn't know. I didn't know. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Uh, Christmas. So Christmas Eve is almost like more significant in Canada. Christmas Eve has a big significance in Canada, whereas in America, Christmas Eve is just everyone's kind of just waiting for it to be over so we can get to Christmas. You know, maybe that's a good way of interpreting the difference. Wow. Okay. Canadians like to decorate their houses with Christmas trees, lights, and other decorations. Okay, same. There's often Christmas stockings hung by the fireplace ready for Santa. Yes, the stockings. So even something like that, hanging Christmas stockings by the fireplace, is the same between Canada and America. Yet opening the gifts at different times is different. That is funny. You know, in the UK, they hang their stockings over their bed, right over your bed. So parents have to sneak into the bedrooms and stuff things down the stockings while the kids are asleep, like 2 feet away from them. I thought that was pretty funny when I heard about that. Also a little scary if you're a kid, thinking that your Santa's gonna sneak into your room and breathe on you and be like, you know, maybe it's not. Maybe when you're a kid, it's actually fun, but when you're an adult, thinking of a man sneaking into your room, stuffing stuff into a stocking, 1 foot from your head, that's when it gets disturbing. Isn't that unfortunate how the mind just gets tainted and less innocent over time? That's a shame. Anyway, no need to get too philosophical on this wonderful Christmas day. Let's get a little lighter. Here we go. The main Christmas meal is often roast turkey with vegetables and all the trimmings, like mashed potatoes and vegetables. Yep, that sounds about right. Traditional favorite Christmas desserts include Christmas plum puddings and mincemeat tarts. Yeah, the mincemeat thing. I gotta say, without at the risk of coming off a little judgmental here, the whole mincemeat thing has always been a little disturbing to me, and I think most Americans, just because we don't really have pies, we don't, or tarts. Wait, this is a mincemeat tart or mincemeat pie or whatever it is. We don't really use mincemeat or put meat in our desserts. There's the whole chicken pot pie thing, which is American, but no one really makes those anymore. Let me Google mincemeat tart. Let me get a picture of this before I knock it. Before I criticize the mincemeat tart, let me look at it. Wow, these look super nice. Okay, so I happened to stumble upon the most beautifully made mincemeat tarts in the world, of course, just to throw my argument out the window that this stuff is disturbing. Gosh, so is that meat? And I think some other stuff in there too. This is just not a creation that is used, a creation, like some mad scientist made this. This just isn't something that's made in America, but I'm sure it's fine. I'd try it. It's probably fine. It's probably better than I think. Plum pudding? I also don't think I've ever had plum pudding. Christmas crackers are also popular with many people in Canada as well. I actually used to think Christmas crackers meant crackers you eat. Like a cracker, a salted cracker. But a Christmas cracker, when I looked it up, this is actually Yeah, this thing. It's this thing here. Let me blow it up a little bit. Let me open it up and make it a little bigger. It's this thing that you pull apart. I had never seen this before, the Christmas cracker. This doesn't exist in America, but it seems very fun. Very, very fun. It's like this. I thought they were like a firecracker and then they explode, and they kind of do, but it kind of don't explode. You tear it apart and there's this little things inside, like a bad joke and like candy and a terrible little toy that no one likes. But it's not about that. It's about the like experience. It's about the feeling of having your Christmas cracker, right? And pulling it apart, and it seems like a very fun little Christmas thing, not to take too seriously, but that just does not exist in America. I thought that was the funniest thing when I first saw the Christmas cracker. Uh, so that's popular in Canada. Cool. I know they do that in the UK as well. A rich fruit Christmas cake is normally eaten around Christmas time. Here's the thing about fruit cakes. There's almost a running joke in America that you get people a fruit cake as a Christmas gift, and that is the worst possible gift you could get because no one likes it. They're awful, they're terrible. No one opens it and eats it. I've never even had it because I just hear about how disgusting everyone is. It's often a joke in Christmas movies to have a Christmas cake. Is this actually normally eaten in Canadian Christmas time, as this website tells me? Or is it like America, where people might purchase the fruitcake but never eat it? It's almost like a tradition not to eat it. Some people eat it, I shouldn't say no one eats it. Some people cut into that monstrosity and enjoy it. More power to them. However, people from different backgrounds and cultures have their own favorite foods at Christmas. Well, that makes complete sense. And I know if there's one thing I've learned, Canada is very diverse, very multicultural. One of the greatest things about it, very nice, and not surprisingly, that would mean that there's probably a zillion different ways that different cultures within the Canadian culture are celebrating little Christmas traditions, which is kind of cool. You could probably get so deep into how different people celebrate Christmas. Yet we all have our own way of doing it, but we're all kind of connected by the Christmas. It's actually kind of beautiful when you think about it. Okay, going skiing, skating, and tobogganing are also popular if there's no snow at Christmas. What does that mean? Wait, if there's no snow, you mean if there is snow? How do you go skiing, skating, and tobogganing if there's no snow? Well, what is tobogganing? What? I'm sorry to admit, but what is that? It's like a sled? I've heard the word toboggan, but goodness knows we don't use the word toboggan in America. I've just heard it. It looks like a little wooden sled. Wait, these guys. Let me open up this image. Let me make this bigger. These kids are on a toboggan, but it doesn't need snow. It's like a slide. What? Canadians, do you have access to this technology? This amazing. Let me close out some of these tabs. I've really opened a lot of Canadian Christmas stuff already, having to do my research on some of this stuff. Tobogganing. So you can go skiing and skating if it's icy or snowy, and tobogganing looks like you can do it in the snow, but also there's special slides for toboggans. I don't know if everyone has access to that. Anyway, this year, I think as everyone knows at this point, is the United States has been gifted the beautiful presence of snow and ice, which hasn't really been celebrated, but rather is plunging America into icy chaos because none of us know what to do or how to survive it. But it is nonetheless, once we get over the initial shock, very fun and very festive that it's actually snowing outside. Well, it's not snowing anymore, but there's lots of snow on the ground. It's beautiful. It's finally like a white Christmas, as they say. That's rare. It's been a few years, and I can't remember. It's been a few years since we've had snow for Christmas. So this has actually been pretty nice. Canadian children also believe in Santa Claus. Thank goodness. I don't know where we'd be if Canada and America didn't share at least that the belief in this jolly old mythical guy that sneaks into your bedroom. Yeah. That's one way of putting it. Canadians are especially proud to say that their country is the home of Santa Claus? What? Although I'm sure the people of Finland would disagree. Canadians are proud to say that their country is the home of Santa Claus? Really? Really? Is that what we're saying? Well, I certainly would never have said that America is the home of Santa Claus. The home of Santa Claus, no offense, Canada, is the North Pole, right? Isn't that's like what all the little Christmas books say when little the Polar Express, Santa's lives in the North Pole. You know what? If Santa has like a beach house or a second house in Canada, that's totally fine. I'm fine with it. He probably does. It's a really nice place. Santa probably has a second vacation home in Canada. Makes sense. The Santa Claus Parade in Toronto is one of the oldest and largest Santa parades in the world. Santa Claus Parade in Toronto, okay. It started in 1913, 110 years ago, when Santa was pulled through the streets of Toronto. Children along the route followed Santa and marched with him. Let's do Santa Claus Parade in Toronto. Let's look that up and get a picture. Let's get an image. Hey, there's Santa right there. Let's blow this one up. Here is Santa on a sled with reindeer waving at people. Very fun. Whoa, what are these? Man, this is probably from different years, but oh well. What is this? Elves? What is... Are they doing handstands or... What the heck? What on earth? Yeah, Santa Claus. Yeah, this looks like a nice parade. Very nice. Santa Claus Parade in Toronto. It's one of the largest in the world, sounds like. Children follow Santa along and march with him. It's been taking place for over 100 years. 25 animated floats. 2,000 people taking part. It's broadcast on TV around the world. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I bet it's on YouTube as well. I could actually watch some of that. The Santa Claus Parade in Toronto. Cool. Okay, Snick Tuck is a festival started by the Inuit that is celebrated in some provinces of Canada. This celebration consists of dancing and gift exchanging. Snick Tuck. That's cool. It's a festival held north, started by the Inuit, celebrated by some provinces of Canada. Okay, cool. The eastern Canadian province of Nova Scotia is known all over the world for its fir and pine Christmas trees. Really? There's a link. What happens when you click this link? Are there any pictures? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I gotta look up a picture of this. Fir Christmas tree? Fir Christmas tree. Okay. Yeah, classic Christmas tree. And then a pine Christmas tree, right? Pine Christmas tree. Does that look different? Not really. Not really. Okay. Well, we use pine in America, by and far. But the fir Christmas tree, I mean, to be honest, I thought this was going to look way different. That picture had me fooled a little bit. I was looking at, oh, where'd it go? This guy made it look like the needles were spread out more or something. Or that made it look a little different. Okay. Fir or pine? Good with me. Whatever you like. So most families in Canada have a fir or pine Christmas tree. One Canadian tradition is to send the biggest, best fir tree grown in Nova Scotia to Boston. You send a Canadian fir tree from Nova Scotia to Boston because of the assistance given during the disaster of the Halifax explosion. Wow, this tradition has carried on for years. Bostonians always love and appreciate the Nova Scotian Christmas tree. Wow, I never knew about this. This is beautiful. This is touching. They place the tree in the city, light it during a ceremony. What? Oh man, is there a I don't know if they'd have a picture of this. The Nova Scotian Christmas tree? Can I Google that? Given to the people of Boston by Nova Scotia. Jeez, this thing is enormous. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, everyone. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing and look at this thing. Look at this thing. Thanks, Nova Scotia. This is scaring me. Look at the person for scale. You could fit like 20 people on top of each other. The size of that. Oh my, it is the biggest one. Wow, what a gift. What a beautiful little relationship between Canada and America. That is great. Talk about random thing I didn't know. That is super cool. Okay. Murmuring? Mummering? Mummering is a tradition which mainly takes place in Newfoundland, more commonly in small towns rather than large towns and cities. It's also sometimes called jannying. Jannying? People dress up in costumes and knock on someone's door and say in a disguised voice, "Are there any murmurers in the night? Or any murmurers allowed in?" Meaning, that would be my disguised voice if I'm dressed up in this situation. Disguised, meaning, are murmurers allowed in the house? They then sing and dance and have Christmas cake and a cup of something nice before moving to the next house. It's kind of like Christmas caroling in America, which has died down a lot, to be honest. In the good old days, Americans used to actually get outside, get in groups and carol and go house to house singing, and people might give you food and snacks and open the door and enjoy them singing. But if this actually exists in Canada right now in the modern day, and it's called murmuring, that is great. I have never heard of this. And they let you in your house? Or might give you Christmas cake? And then you move on. Huh, I don't know if there's any singing going on. It's more dressing up in costumes and going door to door, kind of like Halloween in a way. In some places, if the host does not guess who the mummers are, mummering, not murmuring, mummering. Oh, they have to guess who the mummers are. This would only work in a small town. Otherwise, how are you supposed to have any shot at guessing who they are? The host must join the if you can't guess who they are, you must join the mummers in their merrymaking. That's funny. Going mummering is a fun Christmas season activity for adults. Mummers usually come out between December 26th and January 6th. Oh, the 12 days of Christmas. They do this after Christmas. Oh, that's so cool, because in America, there's nothing magical or really celebratory going on officially between New Year's and Christmas. It's just kind of like this dead time where everyone's just like laying around doing nothing, which is, don't get me wrong, I can lay around and do nothing. Count me in. But this is just fun, like that there's some way Canadians celebrate it, mummering, in this very interesting way, all in good fun. Okay, however, some only come out before Christmas Day. In some places, mummering is now banned because people used it as begging. That's the thing about what's happened in America, I think. Not that it's confused for begging, but on a totally different note, Americans are just like not as community oriented anymore. People don't want to go out and sing and meet strangers, and there's like a level of trust that's been lost in community, and it's very sad. So it's kind of declined in America as well. Sounds like possibly in Canada too. On the south shore of Nova Scotia, over Christmas, there's a tradition of bell snickling. Bell snickling. I don't know if that word is supposed to be funny, but it makes me chuckle. Bell snickling, where people dress up in funny Santa costumes and go from house to house until the homeowners guess who you are. Man, a lot of guessing who people are. You would have to live in a pretty close community, or just like show up to your neighbor's house or something. And they'd be like, why are you dressed up like Santa? And I'd be like, oh no, this is a Canadian tradition. Trust me, I read it on a website. And they just slammed the door in my face. It was especially popular in West and East Green Harbor. The bell snicklers often brought musical instruments and sang, yep, like caroling in America. They were served Christmas cake, cookies. This tradition was brought to Nova Scotia in 1750. Cool. I don't know if some of this stuff is still done. Some of this sounds a little like maybe historical Canada, but I'm sure someone somewhere in Canada is still doing some of these things. I hope. In northern Canada, some people plan a taffy pull. A taffy pull. What is a taffy pull? What does that mean? Is that painful? What taffy pull? What was a taffy pull? A party where the candy or taffy pull includes buttering one's hands and pulling on the molasses candy repeatedly. Why? What does that do? Does it create the candy by pulling on it like taffy? Or I think I kind of get it. You know what? Who cares why? It's all Christmas spirit. This is held in honor of St. Catherine, patron saint of single women. This party provides opportunity for single women to meet eligible single men. This is from, it doesn't even have a date. So this could be going on right now. Labrador City in Newfoundland holds a Christmas lights up contest each year. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. People dress up outside their houses, the outside of their houses, with lights and have big ice sculptures. Yeah, that's something Americans do well. Not that we have a contest or anything, but Americans are really quite good at going nuts for the Christmas decorations and setting up the lights and inflatable snowmen and all sorts of wacky stuff. That is something I really appreciate about living in America, is that people, if nothing else, they really care about their decorations for Halloween and for Christmas, which really gets you in the Christmas spirit, having some decorations. They have no trouble finding enough snow or ice because Labrador City has about 12 feet of snow every year? Really? You know what? If I Google Labrador City weather, what's the weather right now? 22 degrees. Honestly, 22 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warmer than it is right here where I am. What do you know? Many Canadian families have cookie baking parties. Really? They bring a recipe for Christmas cookies, bake them, and exchange them with members of their family. Oh, this sounds great. Gingerbread people and houses are favorites, along with cheese straws. Cheese straws, okay. A little random. At the end of the party, each family goes home with a variety of cookies. Wow, a Christmas baking party. It's like a Christmas cookie swap. Is this common? This sounds great. I really hope this is like super common. People don't do this enough. You don't even have to have like a special law or holiday for this kind of thing. People just need to do this more. It's just good spirit, you know, good stuff. Many families of French descent have a huge feast or party on Christmas Eve called a Réveillon that lasts well into the early hours of Christmas morning. After taking part in Christmas Eve Mass, when people are at midnight Mass, they hope that Père Noël, Santa, will visit their house and leave gifts for children under the tree. You know, if this huge feast is on Christmas Eve and lasts till Christmas morning, but a lot of Canadians open gifts on Christmas Eve, so there's a feast and Christmas gift opening, maybe, on the same day? Possibly? The big Christmas feast for Americans is always on Christmas night. Christmas Eve, certainly, it honestly is just random. Family to family in America, it's totally random how you decide to celebrate Christmas Eve. It's really up to you. I don't think there's any kind of hard, well-known tradition or rule for what to eat on Christmas Eve, besides just general Christmas food, I guess, in America. The traditional Christmas meal for people in Quebec is a stew called ragout au pâté de cochons, which is made from pig's feet. However, many people now have a tourtière, a meat pie from venison or pork or beef. Pig's feet, meat pie. You know, I respect the Quebec Christmas tradition. I don't know if I'll be partaking anytime soon, but I respect it. The pig's feet. A popular cake, especially in Quebec and for those of French descent, is the bûche de Noël, a chocolate log. A chocolate log. What does a chocolate log mean? Exactly. I feel like I'm saying that constantly in this during this. What does that mean to everything? Whoa, it's a giant ho-ho. Wow. It's a giant ho-ho. These look really, really nice. Or is it even giant? Yeah, it's like a log. Whoa! It's like a log, people. It's like a log. Chocolate with delicious frosting inside. Holy! Now this is a let me close some tabs. I'm getting so overwhelmed by the chocolate log that I need to close some tabs or my computer's gonna crash. Okay. Yeah. Chocolate log looks nice. Bûche de Noël. Okay. At the end of the Christmas season on Epiphany in French, January 6th, people in the province of Quebec have a celebration called Le Fête des Rois. They bake a cake and place a bean in the middle. Whoever is lucky to discover the bean gets to be king or queen, according to this tradition. The first thing that comes to my mind as an American who does not do this, what if you choke on the bean? Something could go wrong with this bean. Maybe that's just not something that happens. Maybe the bean is soft, or I'm just being paranoid. If I grew up with beans in the cake, maybe I'd be more chill about it. In southwestern Nova Scotia, many families eat lobster, shellfish caught off the shores, right? On Christmas Eve, right? There's a lot of cool Christmas Eve stuff in Canada. And I really like that. It makes Christmas like longer. You got Christmas Eve, Christmas, you got the 12 days of Christmas, you got the time between Christmas and New Year's that you're kind of celebrating with stuff. Just seems nice in Canada. Like there's more Christmassy stuff going on. In the Maritimes, eastern Canadian provinces of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island, at Christmas sweets called barley candy and chicken bones are very, very popular. Christmas sweets called barley candy? I could try to look that up. It's like little gummy bears on sticks. Okay. That seems innocent enough. And chicken bones. What am I going to even get when I look up chicken bones? I'm just going to get chicken bones, right? I got chicken bones candy. Wait. Chicken bones candy. This is a thing. It's not just made up. It's real. Oh, these kind of look like bones. Here's a package. Let me blow this up a little bit. Chicken bones, the original. They're kind of like logs. Huh, they look like hard candy. Okay. They kind of look like chicken bones. Very popular. Okay. I've never heard of these. That's fun. These are made by local candy companies. Barley candies are usually made on a stick, right? Shaped like Santa, right? The bear that I saw, a Christmas tree. Chicken bones are pink candies that taste like cinnamon with a chocolate filling. You melt them in your mouth. Once melted, the chocolate comes out. Yeah, that sounds great. These chicken bones. That'd be fascinating to try. There is a large Ukrainian community in Canada. I didn't actually know that. The third largest in the world. I had no idea. Large Ukrainian community in Canada. Wow. Ukrainian families will have the traditional 12 meal dishes for Christmas. 12 meal? 12 dishes? Sheesh. Man, that's like you will be cooking all day to make. Is this a 12-course meal? Is that what that means? Okay. Canadian Ukraine, like big Ukrainian community in Canada. Who knew? Wow. Well, that's the end of the page. That's it. You know, for being a kind of a random, this website's just called whychristmas.com/cultures/Canada. I found this trying to find information on Christmas in Canada, and I was really hoping this would have some good stuff, and it does. It did. I really enjoyed this. This had like lots of different Christmas traditions that are quite different than America, which is what I was hoping for. I don't want to hear about our boring American traditions. I want to hear about some interesting, unique Canadian traditions. And the fun thing about this is depending on where you are in Canada, your province, your specific culture, you celebrate Christmas in yet even more specific ways, in addition to the overall way that Canada as a nation celebrates it differently than places like America, which is just beautiful. I really enjoyed learning about this. This is nice. You know, a couple of these things, honestly, we should be doing in America. I don't know about opening presents on Christmas Eve. I don't know about that. It'll take some convincing for that. But but the chocolate log, I could be convinced quite easily about that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada, Canadian culture, stuff in Canada that I've never seen or heard before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching. Have a very, very happy holidays, Merry Christmas, wherever you are, and see you next time.